Hello, everybody. We're at the George Brendler Field in Shazy, New York for Section 7 Class B Boys Championship Soccer match. We have the Beekmantown Eagles in red going from right to left. We have the PHS Hornets going from left to right. After a couple of semifinal and quarterfinal matches, Beekmantown is here by virtue of basically an escape over Northeastern Clinton a couple of nights ago, Sean. I mean, they were outplayed, outpossessed, out everything but outscored, and they won a 1-0 game against the Northeastern Cougars. The PHS Hornets have had an easier ride in here. They had a first round bye, then I don't even remember the first team that they smoked pretty hard, but they came in here and beat Peru in a relatively well-fought game, 2-0, but they were definitely the better team. The PHS Hornets have not been beaten this year. They only have they've had some close ones. Oh, there's a good chance. Yeah, this is what Beekmantown is going to have to do, I think. Come down and get that quick goal right off the bat, like they did against Northeastern, and see what they can do. But what the PHS Hornets are going to have to do is to just withstand this first, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of early pressure that Beekmantown will bring to you. And we're going to see if this plays out, like we've said. But both these teams are in here at the George Brendler Field fighting for this, and Rowan Beck, the keeper, I should say the very large keeper for the PHS Hornets. He's got to be 6'5", 6'6".
Oh,
he is. He made a great save last week against Ian Spear for Peru early in that game to keep the game at 0-0 and allowing his team to win. But the PHS Hornets, like I mentioned, they have not been beat, and they're the top-ranked team around. They are the fifth-ranked team in the state. Beekmantown has not been ranked in statewide as of yet. Maybe they'll change after this week, after beating the Cougars in Northeastern in that semifinal game a couple of nights ago. But they've been beat a few times this year. They had played PHS tough, though.
Yeah, they have.
There have been one-goal games, both of them.
Yep, and it's been that way all year. The top three teams here and these two teams in NCCS, they've been very close, and a lot of people have been saying all along this could go any way with one of these guys, especially Beekmantown, sneaking one in early and packing that box like they did the other night. They've got some speed, they've got some skilled players.
Yes, they do. They bring Zach Tal. They have Keon. How are we going to pronounce his name, Sean?
Jahanbush.
Jahanbush, that's how we're going to pronounce it. He is the sweeper for the Eagles. And here's Zach Tal, one of the goal scorers. And up to Burrell. Burrell has some great speed, and Burrell being challenged. Burrell taken down, and there is no call. There is no call. And Coach Lucy not happy with that call for the Beekmantown Eagles, and I don't know if I can blame him, Sean.
Yeah, that one was a little tight there. But we're seeing what we did the other night. The refs are going to let them play this game. This is a sectional final, and they're going to let them go at it a little bit here. So that's a good thing. Let's not decide it with the hand going up. Let's decide it by playing soccer.
Well, part of soccer is calling the right fouls, though, Sean.
It is.
But let's.
It's got to be pretty blatant to get into the box here. This late in the season.
That is true. And we have 3 seasoned officials this evening. We have Dennis Labarge on one of the sideline flags, Tom Lacey on the far sideline with a flag, and Jerry Kovlowski, another seasoned official in the middle. I was trying to think of Tommy Kovlowski, but he did another game. So, a nice service in there by Spencer Keeble. Oh, wow. And Tal going up against the huge Rowan Beck. Rowan Beck easily comes down with that one. There's not many players in this area that are going to go up against Rowan Beck and come down the winner.
Nope, not as tall as he is, and he goes up well himself.
And he has good hands.
Falls out of the air very well.
He does, and he has very good hands. He doesn't allow a lot of rebounds off the first initial shots. But they counter Beekmantown counters with a keeper of their own, Olson. Very good keeper.
Did a tremendous job the other night.
Yes, he did.
He had a couple of big saves, and I was talking a little earlier about Beekmantown packing the box. They did a great job. NCCS was having a very difficult time getting shots through. Derek had to make a couple of saves, but it could have been a lot worse if they got more balls through.
Yes, well, and I think you're going to find Northeastern seemed like they kept trying to go down the middle.
Yes.
They were doing that a lot, and they had good success going down the sides when they started playing better, but that's what the Beekmantown Eagles are going to be susceptible to if they start sitting back on their heels and letting PHS coming at them, because PHS have some. Well, let's face it. Let's mention a couple of the Hornet players. It seems like they've been around forever. Votra, Ethan Votra, number 8 in the middle. Fouts in the middle, number 21. Carpenter, 18. Ferris, 16. Those young men can all put the ball in the back of the net, and they have a few others who can. So, those are some of the names you're probably going to be hearing as we start doing some play-by-play. Right now, PHS withstood that early pressure that we were talking about, and they were awarded a corner kick with 35 minutes left in the first half. Section 7 Class B Boys Championship at the George Brendler Field. And it's a wasted one at that. Never got it in. That's, you can't waste those, Sean.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's a big deal. Those set plays are where the big chances come, especially in a game of this caliber, and you got to take the advantage of those when you have them.
But that's what Beekmantown was doing. Northeastern Clinton awarded 13 corner kicks.
Yep.
Beekmantown defended very well.
They were taking the ball out of the air. They were beating them in the air.
Yes,
on
they were.
Those crosses.
And just clearing. Right there, Jahan Bush with a great, he's just a good player. Jahan Bush back there, steady defender on the sweeper position. And Keeble over here on this left side, number 5, Spencer Keeble. He's been a stalwart for the Eagles for several years himself. So both these teams have a lot of experience. You got Goldfarb for the Eagles. You have Riley for the Eagles up there. You have Burrell as well as Towell. They can play. They have good quickness. But, they're counting. PHS has a lot of seniors. Here comes Ferris. On that far side over to Carpenter, the always dangerous Carpenter with good speed and skill. Carpenter going back to Ferris to end line. They go a little too much weight. And Beekmantown's going to get a goal kick here with 33 minutes and 45 seconds left. It looks like PHS is settling down a little bit.
Came out a little tight, I agree. They're starting to settle down, starting to work that ball on the outside. Again, what I saw the other night is to beat Beekmantown here, you got to play that possession game. You got to possess the ball and move the ball.
Yes.
And they're starting to do that.
And let's face it, Coach LaRose for the PHS Hornets, he loves this field.
Oh, he does. He likes the big field.
Yes, he does.
He likes to be able to spread it. And other than, we got the natural turf here.
No, this field is in excellent condition, actually.
It is. It's in great shape. We've had problems in the past few years, but tonight it's in great shape.
Brian Norcross, the athletic director for Shazy, is mainly responsible for that, and this field is in impeccable condition, especially for this time of year. They've had a lot of games here this past week, and you wouldn't know it. A nice service in the middle from Tal. And Brill getting ahead on it, but cleared out by Fouts, and comes up to Ferris for PHS, being challenged by Keeble. Ferris trying to get by Keeble, and Jahan Bush just boots it down the middle of the field, and Fouts trying to head it back up, but Ferris retaining possession, being challenged by a couple of defenders, and Keeble bounces it off the foot of Carpenter, and it'll be a Beekmantown throw-in. And number 20 for the Beekmantown Eagles checking in is Ryan Munson.
Yep.
And
Keeble takes that throw and gets it pretty deep, but they lose possession there.
Yeah. And number 9 for the Hornets had a great game was Bracey. That's what he does. He just easy-going guy back there in that sweeper position. And number 13 also had a good game, Nolting, for the Hornets against Peru. And there's 9 for the Eagles. Cartwright.
A little tight there.
Out of bounds, and it's going to be PHS thrown on the far side with 31:56 left. Still no score in this championship game, Section 7, Class B, at the George Brendler Field. There's Jahan Bush.
Beekmantown is looking very loose. They're playing the ball well. They're starting to play those big balls over the top, though, and that's what's going to get them in trouble. You got to possess the ball in these types.
But that's what Beekmantown, I think, has to do.
You think so?
I don't think they can match up against the likes, and they have good midfielders. Don't disrespect whatsoever. But right there's a decent chance. But Jahan Bush is solid back there. But you got the midfielders of Fouts and Votra. That's got to be the best tandem probably in the area.
I agree. And that's why I would say possess and bring the ball to the outside. We might have a little better
over the top. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Instead of playing this boot ball over the top.
Well, but they defend well. You got Phillips back here. You got Bracey. They do well. Nolting. They're good in the air themselves. And Guanga is number 14 on the outside midfield. He played great the other night. Guanga, number 14 over here for the Hornets. Phenomenal. Yes, he did. And number 20 for the Hornets also played well. Colby Durgan just played very well. And there's Durgan right there. That's what he does. He passes well. He distributes the ball very well from that stopper position. You know, I've seen PHS play. This is about the 4th or 5th time play. This is the 3rd time I've seen Beekmantown play, so I'm kind of familiar with both of these teams, as you are.
Yep.
You know, you've seen them play, and Calvin has too. So, you know, both these they played each other in the season, regular season. Both games settled by 1 goal.
Exactly.
And the promises are it's probably going to be like that again.
One thing I did notice too, Joe. I'm looking at the rosters here. Plattsburgh is starting 11 seniors.
11 seniors.
All the gentlemen on the field right now are seniors.
They have experience. You know,
they sure do.
They've been in these championship games a few times, and that's a little hard from a little too much weight from Brockway. It goes off the end line. There's going to be a goal kick for PHS. Yeah, you are right. They have, but they were here last year in the championship game. Favorites, you know, you got to say they were this year, and they lost to Northeastern Clinton 2-0. And Northeastern Clinton didn't just win that game; they beat them.
No, they did.
They beat them, and and it's a different team this year for PHS. They have more seniors, like you said. You know, they're going to lose all that experience, so this might be a do or die year for the Hornets.
I think this is a very good opportunity for them this year. And you know, like you said, though, it's win or go home now, so that's very important at this point in this game.
And Bracey bouncing it off his own player Phillips, and it's going to be a good chance here for Beekmantown with a corner kick. We have 29 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first half. Still no score. You know, looking at this first half, the first few minutes, Beekmantown's probably had the better chances, Sean.
I think they have. They've been in the box a little more.
Yes, they have.
Again, you know, you got to play that ball away from Rombach. He's too big. He's going to come up and win every one of those.
Good job again by Keeble against Ferris. Oh, yes, it is.
They're possessing the ball well.
Yes, they are.
In trouble.
Tal's going to let a shot go. It does go wide, and on the far side, Knowlting, and number 11 for Beekmantown is Burrell. Burrell showed some good speed in the beginning of the game. What's that? Yeah, they're not going to let him in.
Nope.
Number 1 ready to check in for Beekmantown is Adam Goldfarb, and number 18, Nick Danucci.
Nice crowd over here tonight, Joe.
Oh, it is. Those stands are filled, and the railings are pretty much filled. About a good 5-6 of it anyway. I don't know why people are standing next to those porta potties, but that's where they want to stand. And I'd be down to the other end myself. Oh, that's what Beekmantown is going to try to do. Play for that mistake. PHS they're going to just have to settle down and just find feet and possess. Find feet and possess.
Yeah.
And here's a good chance right there.
Relax and don't try to push it.
Intercepted, and number 20, Munson, gets in
that ball out.
Yes, he does. And Gwanga going down the line to Carpenter. Challenged by Keeble again. Keeble goes out of bounds on the near side. Down in the Beekmantown zone. 27-27 left here in the first half. And PHS putting a little pressure on and cleared out by Beekmantown. Comes up to Tal. Tal, one of the leading scorers in the area, challenged by Phillips. Tal trying to chip it over and head it up by number 20.
Fout working that ball.
Durgan. Yeah. Fout, and then Gwanga coming up to Ferris. Ferris being challenged. That's just using your body right there by Tal. But Ferris just used skill, but he does lose possession after getting the ball back. Like I said, those 2 subs coming in and coming off is number 11, Burrell for Beekmantown. And number 7, McCullen Pope. McCullen Pope is a goal scorer against Northeastern, even off an own goal. They did award it to him. And he is a good player.
That's why you shoot.
Yeah, actually, he's a very nice young man, too.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
Yes, he is. He's played with some Shazy kids in indoor soccer in the past, and they get along very well with him.
He's got Goldfarb on the far side, though. He plays it in the middle.
Good job by Tal. Tal trying to feed it back. And that's a good job by Fouts, just interrupting that. And Munson with the ball, trying to pass it back to Keeble. And Ferris intercepts it, trying to get by Keeble. Keeble playing good defense with his body. Good shield by Keeble. And Keeble trying to center it in the middle, and it goes back into the zone on top of the box of Beekmantown. Kind of a kick that's mistake. This is right. And a good play by number 3, Jahan Bush, or excuse me, number 5, Keeble.
Ferris open in the corner.
And challenged by Keeble. Keeble comes out with that one. And it goes off Gwanga, and there's going to be a sub going in for Beekmantown Ab and Goldfarb, number 2.
Dylan Riley.
Or excuse me, Dylan Riley. I'm looking at Goldfarb. He just went in. 1. Beekmantown, they don't have much size with the Goldfarb, and I'm looking at Riley. They're not big, but they're just very fast, and Burl, they're quick, fast, and good skill with the ball. This is where PHS has a definite advantage in the air, is those head balls.
Absolutely. They got the size.
Yes, and Phillips trying to head it up. Good job by Tal, and he's whacked in the back of the leg by Phillips, and he retains possession. Nice job by Tal, and it goes off the foot of Phillips and is the near side, and Tal for Beekmantown with a throw-in. Tal trying to go to the line, trying to find number 1 Goldfarb, and off the head of Phillips again, and Beekmantown gets another throw-in. I don't know why they don't have somebody else taking that throw-in besides Tal, because I think I'd want him out there on the field to maybe deliver one, but maybe he's the best one they have. He goes with
deep here because he can turn and crack one from that.
Yeah, he goes with a short one to Riley, and Riley back to Tal. Tal going to the middle, off the head of number 9 Cartwright. Oh, and good job right there. And number 8 getting the ball is Faruqi. Ball sent downtown on this near side, and Keeble giving chase. Keeble has some space. Let's go out of bounds. And Keeble will have to hold on for a second because of the substitution with McCullum Pope going back in, and number 6 for Beekmantown coming off Brockway.
Hey, Goldie, run!
Beautiful, thank you. It'll be one of the first of many mistakes I make. Adam Goldfarb, number 1, Beekmantown being challenged by Phillips. Phillips rode it. He did ride him off there, and they're letting him play here some championship soccer, a little physical. And we're going to see which team can get on the board here first. That all-important first goal, and goes off the leg of Fouts. PHS is going to be a throw-in for Beekmantown, and Keeble takes that. Keeble up to Munson. Munson, a nice little play by Munson. And Beekmantown doing some good job here retaining possession. To number 9, Carnwright. Carnwright trying to find Munson, and goes out of bounds off the end line. It was a good idea, a little too much weight. Well, we have no score, still with 23:37 left in the first half at the George Brendler Field Section 7 Class B Boys Championship on the line. Beekmantown Eagles, PHS Hornets. I don't know when the last time Beekmantown was in the championship game, Sean. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
It's been a few years, because usually it's Northeastern and PHS. It has been, and we snuck through in there once or twice, maybe, and Sable maybe a little bit, and a few years ago. But Beekmantown has not.
Sable was quite a while ago. I
think you might be right.
I know. If you looked at this building up front, I think people would be surprised and wouldn't have thought that it's 17 minutes in. The shots are Beekmantown Eagles 3, Plattsburgh Hornets 0.
True, huh? Very true.
So, as you were saying, I think Beekmantown came out a little looser, a little more relaxed. Plattsburgh starting to settle in.
That was a nice save right there by Gwanga.
2 more balls down there.
Oh, good job by 20 to contain him as Munson. And kicked out. Oh, a real good play by Vocha. Vocha coming out wide to Gwanga. Yeah, this is what they have to do. They have to just play wide. That was a really good save. Phillips made a that's what he's about right there. He doesn't have a lot of finesse, but boy, he can bring the game.
And that young man hustles hard.
Yes, he does. He looks more like a football player.
He does.
Than a soccer player.
I've been watching him for a few years, and every year, Joe, he's gotten better and better.
Yes, he has.
His senior year, he's played tremendously well this year.
Well, that's why Coach LaRose has him in there. And good job on the far side. Oh, really good job defending by PHS. Ooh. There's a foul. That's what is that number? Number 15?
13.
13, okay. 13 is Perkins. In the middle for the defense for Coach Lucy's Eagles. One of the reasons they did hold Northeastern off the board. He had a good game. And head off Vocha.
And they have Carpenter open over there. Wasn't able to get to it though.
Boy, the team's kind of railing on each other, using a lot of shoulders, and a nice save on the far side.
Oh, wins the throw in too. That was a nice play.
Yep. And good job.
Still trouble. We should be able to cross it.
Oh,
There
good.
it comes.
And head for Fouts.
Head on it over the top.
And goes over the box, top of the barn. 21-23 left. Still no score. And checking in for Beekmantown, number 11 would be Austin Burrell. Played a good game with against Northeastern the other night too. Good speed. And coming off is number 13. Yep, on that far side. Coach Lucy kind of switching him around a little bit.
I noticed that, Joe. Coach Lucy uses that bench quite accurately.
And the defense too.
Yep.
I know it's normally your defenses are kind of set.
Yep.
You very seldom will see Coach LaRose sub his defense. You know, it's just the way it is.
Goldfarb had a chance there, wasn't able to trap that ball.
Munson being challenged by Gwanga. Gwanga gets it up to Ferris. Ferris trying to fight Carpenter, and Tal intercepts out and being challenged by Ferris. Good hustle by Ferris, good team defense. But Munson comes over, has a little something to say, and Tal comes up with the ball and wisely passes it back, just possessed to Jahan Bush. It's a good play. Jahan Bush being challenged by Carpenter, gets to the far side.
Joe, I'm really impressed. You got that name down.
Not bad, huh?
Not bad.
After messing it up for a couple of years, I finally get it down. Maybe you have to forgive me, Keon. Oh, good job right here by Votra, and it goes off the foot of number 9, Carnwright. Beekmantown does retain possession. Burl being challenged by far side. It looks like Carpenter. And get it up real quick. Oh, Jahan Bush makes very few mistakes back there and goes onto the foot of Fouts for PHS. Trying to find Gwanga. Gwanga being challenged by Spencer Keeble. Keeble does a good job of containment, and it just kicked up by
Jordan. Comes up and grabs that one.
Munson gets it for Beekmantown. Munson getting it up to number 1, Goldfarb. Goldfarb trying to go in the middle, and that's intercepted by Votra just kicking it up front. Oh, here we go. What are we going to do? Oh, Carpenter. Carpenter being loose on Jahan Bush. Jahan Bush does a good job defending. Carpenter still gets a shot away. And that's probably their first shot of the game. No. Yes, it is.
Second, I would say that header.
I know. The scorekeeper, is that Olivia Seymour? We have to give her a little bit of credit, cut her some slack maybe. But she,
I'd say we're 3-2 right now.
Okay.
Even though scoreboard doesn't record.
We'll go with you, Sean. PHS starting the game to get their game together now. Beekmantown had everybody back. And number 7, McCullum Cope kicks it up to Burl for Beekmantown. Burl trying to kick it over the head of Noelting. Can't do it. But he does get possession back. And Riley comes over here to number 9, Carnwright. Carnwright trying to find Goldfarb. Goldfarb being challenged by the much larger Phillips. I think I'd be scared of that. You're afraid of that young man. No doubt. I'm glad I'm not.
He's learned how to use those shoulders he's got, I'll tell you.
That's a good thing. That's what they're going to have to do. And Ferris kind of kicks it up to no man's land, and McCullum Cope.
A little miss kick there.
Yes, there was. And Keeble kicks it out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for PHS. PHS starting to settle down now. You notice that, Calvin? They're settling in, getting the ball, bringing it down a little bit, getting a little here, a little bit there, just gaining ground yard by yard.
You can see the momentum starting to swing a little bit here.
But they have to be they got to be careful on that counterattack that Beekmantown can bring. In the middle to Cope. Cope trying to send it up to Goldfarb, and Phillips defended very well. That could be trouble here. Yes, he does. And Jahan Bush wisely sends the ball out of bounds on the near side. And we still have 17:45 left in the first half. No score. Beekmantown PHS championship game at the George Brendler Field. PHS starting to settle down, and Fouts being challenged by Keeble, and it will be a goal kick for Beekmantown, and number 6 checking in for Beekmantown, Brockway, and number 13 Perkins going back into the game. Coming out is Towel, and who else is coming out for Beekmantown? Number 9 Carnwright. Their names. Towel getting a well-deserved rest over here on the bench. And Beekmantown with a goal kick. Let's see what's going to happen here. And Gwanga probably should have let that one go out of bounds, but he does give it a head and goes out of bounds. And Keeble with the throw in for Beekmantown. Look at number 6 Brockway, just checked into the game. And the ever-dangerous Carpenter have some space trying to get up to Ferris and headed out by Keeble. And Carpenter gets possession back at the top of the box, going over to, oh my, he is going to call a foul. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was kind of I think he just ran into the defender.
Yeah.
So,
especially that other one we had.
PHS here with a great chance to put one in the back of the net.
That was, that just wasn't good there.
PHS, we have 16:25 left. PHS here about what? I'd say 21, 22 yards out.
Yep.
So
Gwanga's going to take this. I thought
Gwanga or 19?
Oh, yeah, it is 19. Who is that?
19 is Morrow.
Oh, it's Jake Morrow, yep.
Morrow's got a good shot from here. What's he going to do with it? Morrow putting one. Oh, my. They put Fouts in the
there very nicely.
They did. He probably should have delivered that right on net, maybe.
Jacob usually has big bushy hair. You got it cut down there in that mohawk. I can't recognize.
These kids have all done that to me. It seems like the teams are doing that mohawk special this time of year.
'Tis the season.
But here we have Jahan Bush with a goal kick and still no score. Hornets have one shot and the Eagles of Beekmantown have three.
Oh, he's starting to call this game a little tighter. A little bump there.
Yeah,
I think he's going to make sure we maintain control here.
that's what you have to do because the emotions are going to be up. And we do have seasoned officials. It's
They're doing a good job.
Kovlowski. You got Lacey, you got Labarge. So it's three of the better officials, if not the best ones in the region. So they've been here before. A good job with number 12 to get that is McElroy. Going to service it in.
Toward the top of the box. You teach these kids.
Yeah, you got to come back out. Come back out. You're right.
And Burrow was wide open there if they brought that one back right out to that line. That's how Shazy scored that one in overtime the other night, Joe.
Yes.
Had the ball deep and brought it back out to the top of the box.
That was a great pass by Nolan Rogers, by the way. Or a great feed. And a good first time by Brandon Lauren to finish that off. And checking back into the game is number 19, Zach Towell, and coming off is number 1, Adam Goldfarb. Okay, Beekmantown starting to bring the game back in the middle of the field. PHS had it down there for 5 minutes, really nothing to come of it except for that one good chance at a restart.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really dominated here.
Nobody has dominated.
It's been a good game here.
Yes, it has. And Zach Towell being challenged by PHS's Phillips. Phillips and Towell going at it. Towell get by him, and number 24 is Durgan doing a good job defending that. It is a corner kick, isn't it? That's their second one of the game so far for Beekmantown. Still no score, 13:57 here left in the first half, and Beekmantown getting a good chance here. PHS has to defend well. They had the height to do it, but can they? Nice kick, and Rowanbeck comes off his line. That was dangerous. And coming right out, that's where you go as Carpenter. Can they come out flying? Burrell, that's Burrell, number 11, did a good job on that one. And Carpenter gets by him ball. And PHS has numbers. PHS gives a good shot in the middle. And I think Perkins, that was Perkins that did that, yes. Good job.
That ball winning it.
And PHS calmly starts it, and Nolting trying to get it to the near side over here.
Last time.
To Gwanga, and kicked out by Keeble. And Towell for Beekmantown gets possession, being challenged by Durgan. Towell trying to go in the middle, and number 6, Cartwright. Yes, he did. Cartwright gets by him. Yes, they do. We'll call it offsides.
That one was a little tight, but he's on a better line than I am.
Yeah, Riley was.
That must have been a step.
That was me or less.
Went up immediately though.
Couple of good counterattacks right there. One by PHS coming out flying out of there out the corner kick. Then Beekmantown flying right back with one of their own. Getting ready to check back into the game is Cartwright, number 9, for Beekmantown. And a goal kick for the Hornets. Ferris to.
A little too big.
I guess a little bit more for. Yep.
Time that run.
Fouls just a little too much weight. And Olsen with the goal kick. Gwanga and number 12, McElroy, fighting for that ball. Quick throw in, yeah, he better quick get him down. Let's go. And Beekmantown does get the possession back. And McElroy up there. Good play right there by Durgan, getting the ball to Ferris. Ferris being challenged by, good job by Keeble, getting that ball back. And a good job of McElroy in the middle of the field. Comes back with Durgan, fouls McElroy to slow them down. And Beekmantown's going to get a restart here about halfway with 11 minutes and 45 seconds left. No score. Beekmantown PHS Class B Section 7 Finals. George Brendler Field. My name is Joe Poissant on the microphone. Sean Rogers is to my left. Getting some commentary and some insights, and Calvin Castan on my right on the camera for Hometown Cable.
I didn't get that one up. Here's the disappointment.
Yep. Cool. Good job. That's number 6 actually. Brockway. Number 6 is Brockway. Cartwright's 9.
Okay.
You can make mistakes. You're allowed. You can make many more too. Oh, good job on the far side for Beekmantown. What's that number over there? I can't get it, Sean. That right fullback.
That was Mr. Burrow working hard over there. He lost it toward the top. I'm not sure who played it down.
No, I'm talking about the kid on the defense back here, not next to Cope on the far side, the right fullback over there. I can't get that number. I know. If you coaches do order uniforms, use the Danusi.
Yeah, I think that's the Danusi.
Okay, if you can coach, you coaches can get numbers that we can see for the old folks. We can call the kids a lot better.
Like silver numbers are hard to see.
Yes, they are. And Durgan just kicks the ball downfield, and Ferris up to Carpenter. Actually, that is Ferris on the far side with the ball. Ferris with that. You can tell Ferris's style. He's got that style. He gets over the center of the Fouts, but Beekmantown getting back very well on defense. Votra coming in the near side to Guanga. Guanga has to pull it back. Guanga being challenged, but he gets it back to Phillips. Yeah, this is what they got to do, find feet and possess, but Phillips delivers it into the defense, and Jahan Bush getting it up to number 12, McElroy, and it goes off McElroy's foot, and it'll be a throw-in for Guanga of PHS, getting it up to Fouts. Fouts has some space and has the ball. Fouts delivers a beautiful service into the center.
Trouble.
Oh, and Carpenter just missed that, about a half a step short.
Actually, that was Morrow.
That was Morrow in there?
Yep.
Okay, Jake Morrow. They all have those haircuts like Sean says.
There comes Tall loose. Oh, it went out of bounds.
And still no score. We're into the 10-minute mark. Actually, we're at the 10:35 mark in the first half. There's no score in a throw-in. Nolting with a throw-in, a long one. And it comes to the middle of the field, and nobody can really get it. And McElroy for Beekmantown sends it in the middle. And Fouts and Conwright. Conwright gets it over to McElroy, yep. McElroy gets it over to the middle, and they're going to call a foul against Votra, and Beekmantown gets another restart here. About 9 minutes and 10 seconds left, and Beekmantown will say we'll push it up a yard or two more and get any advantage it can, and Keeble is going to deliver this one. Keeble taking some time. We're at the 8-minute and 55-second mark, no score. Keeble gets a decent restart and kicked out by Durgan for PHS up to Carpenter. Carpenter over to Ferris. Ferris does have space, but Beekmantown has numbers. Keeble getting back very well against Ferris. Ferris still with a ball, though. Ferris with a good square ball. Oh, and Votra is taking a dive there. They're not going to call that. And then Guanga gets a beautiful service in. And up front was, it looked like number 18. Was that Carpenter? Yeah, Carpenter does have those yellow cleats, so the same haircut with the yellow cleats, we can pick them apart from Ferris. They have the same size.
Checking his number 10, Jack Toloski for Plattsburgh.
Toloski played well the other night.
And he's a sophomore.
Oh, he's one of the few underclassmen that he's bringing in.
Yep.
So, he gave him some good minutes against Peru a couple of nights ago. Ball just being kind of kicked around, and Tal kicks it wide, and number 9 is Bracey, getting rid of it down in the Beekmantown zone. And Carpenter fighting. Actually, on that far side, I can't get his number. What's that kid's number, Sean?
That was Danusi with him.
Okay. And then we have Durgan got space here. Durgan with the ball. He has space and he has time. Durgan lets a shot go, but it goes out the defense. Carpenter with a great shot. Oh, what a great save by Olsen. Whoa.
That was the rocket.
That was a great chance for PHS and a great save by Olsen to keep Beekmantown knotted with 0-0 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left. PHS putting on some good pressure at this time. You can see that skill with PHS. I mean, they move the ball well. They're starting to take over the game now, you know. And oh wow! And that ball is live. Yes, it did. Ho ho! Nobody was ready for that. We have Ferris being challenged by Keeble. What a good matchup. Yes, it did. And Ferris putting on some slick moves against Keeble. Left Keeble in the dust. Ferris gets a great cross in there. And Ferris back at it and sent out of bounds wisely and that will be a corner kick for PHS. PHS getting another one. PHS with 2 great chances here within about 30 seconds. We have 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Still no score. And PHS threatening in this late going of the first half of this championship game, Section 7 Class boys. Class B boys, I should say. That's a little shorter, but there's the height advantage. And Beekmantown let that bounce. They cannot let that box. Oh, there's a handball. No call. I cannot believe there is no call on that one. That was I don't know. I know it was inadvertent, but it's still a handball down in the box. And gee, He was kind of rolling and rumbling with that ball, Sean.
I think the fans couldn't see that one because they're very quiet over there, but it was pretty evident from here.
I know, and Mr. Labarge did not bring up his flag here to do a throw-in, so Beekmantown gets away with one.
Yeah, they sure did. McElroy does a good job to finally get that ball out of here.
A lot of pressure.
Keeps the ball in.
Still a lot of pressure, but here comes Bracey being challenged by Cope. Goes up to Durgan. Durgan does a clever little move up to Ferris. Ferris goes down the line to Toloski. Toloski being challenged by Keeble. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a PHS throw-in. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. Class B Boys Championship Section 7 at the George Brendler Field. November 4th, 2011. And Toloski with a throw-in for PHS, putting on some pressure. Beekmantown. Beekmantown has everybody back, Sean. Look at everybody's in that box. They have 11.
That's the game plan.
You know, it's just... what do they call it? With the old Danamora defense, and that's what they're doing. They have to do that again. They did that. It was successful for them the other night against Northeastern, and if they can get away with that two playoff games in a row, I will be amazed.
Yeah, they sneak one in and pack that box. They're very good at it.
Yes,
it's hard to get a shot through all those kids.
You know, Jahan Bush, he's one of the reasons of that, and Perkins up front and in front of him. There's Perkins right there doing a good defensive play. Yeah, he's a solid man too. I mean, he's all over that field. And number 14 checking in for Coach LaRose's PHS Hornets, Toloski, and coming off Toloski, number 10. Toloski giving him some good minutes out there, giving Gwanga a rest. And we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. And Beekmantown trying to get something going. But Fouts has other ideas, and he kicks it out of bounds, and a Beekmantown throwing on the far side. Beekmantown loses possession, and Votra to Fouts. They don't go too far from each other normally. Oh, good player here. Who's that, Sean? I can't get his number. I know it does come over to Cope. McCullum Cope has some good skills here too, being challenged by Gwanga does get the ball. And Phillips almost misplayed that. And Votra just kicks it to the near side up to Gwanga. Gwanga has space and time, being challenged by Cope. Puts on a nifty little move against Cope, and Gwanga still has the ball, trying to go over to the top. And Jahanbush gets that away, and he gets it up to Carnwright. Carnwright goes over to Cope. Cope goes over to the middle to Tal. Tal does lose possession, and Fouts gets it for PHS, coming up to Ferris. Ferris has the ball, going back in the middle to Fouts. Fouts being challenged by Carnwright. Fouts keeps possession, goes back to the middle of the field, and goes wide on the far side over to 13 Nolting. Nolting has some space. He goes to the far side to, that would be Carpenter. Carpenter being challenged by a couple of defenders. And one of them has to be Beekmantown throwing. That was good defending right there from Beekmantown on that far side. PHS still trying to get some things going. We got 3 minutes left here in the first half. And there's a centering pass, but to no avail, and cleared out by the defensive Beekmantown, and sent back in by PHS, and Fouts gets ahead on it, but Olsen comes up with a save. You can see PHS now, Sean, getting comfortable.
Yep, they're settling in.
They really are.
They've quit working the ball up the middle. They're taking it out there to those fast guys they have on the outside.
Exactly.
They're working the ball in and crossing it nicely.
You know, that's kind of a wasted kick from Olsen. You know, I read a lot about history, and back in World War II, the French, they had the Maginot Line. They were supposed to stop the Germans, but the Germans do go right around it. Exactly. So that's what they're going to have to do. You know, they figured that out, and they do have the talent and the skill to do it, and the speed. And Phillips delivering a ball back in, and Fouts getting head on it. Over to Carpenter. Carpenter trying to send it up to Ferris, and Fouts kicks it back in. And yes, he's been switching Ferris and Carpenter. That's it, is Carpenter giving chase, but it goes off the end line, and Beekmantown throwing we're at the 2-minute mark. First half, still no score, Sean, and we have 2 shots for the Hornets, 3 shots for Beekmantown.
Those shots aren't accurate.
But I do not think they are accurate, but that's how it works out. And we'll read the paper tomorrow and find out. Oh, a nice kick by Jahanbush to the middle of the field, and headed up and sent back in by Phillips.
Even if it's a corner kick, I mean, if it goes off the post, that's a shot.
I would have to think so. I would have to think so. Yeah, good job right there by Faruqi. Or is that Carnwright? It's Carnwright, okay. Like I said, those silver numbers are difficult to see in the lights here. And
unlucky.
Both teams kind of kicking the ball around. Nobody really wants the possession. Carnwright coming back. and sent in by Beekmantown, but Phillips coming up being challenged by Munson. Yep. And Gwanga for PHS gets the ball, trying to get it up. And Keeble, who's been doing a good job all night, gets it to, here's Votra. Votra to Carpenter. Carpenter got a miss kick. He could have maybe taken an extra touch, but being challenged by a couple of defenders, he had to get it away quick, he thought. And
he had the defender turned around. And
nice move by Cope. Cope here in the middle of the field, being challenged by all kinds of Hornets, and gets it up to Tal. And good job right there by number 9, Bracey. Bracey being challenged by Tal. And Ferris and Conright going at it. And Cope can't keep it in bounds. We have 26 seconds left, and PHS can make another run. Carpenter coming off the field, surprisingly so. I think I'd probably have him in there for the last few seconds because he has had a few chances.
Big ball there we go. Sawaski can do it.
Yes, he can.
Man has got a shot.
Here we go, and number 20, Munson, trying to make a last run and being pushed off the ball. Phillips did a good job just coming over here. And this half is going to end 0-0 with the Class B Section 7 Boys Championship on the line at the George Brendler Field. My name is Joe Poissant. Calvin Castine on the camera. Sean Rogers on my left giving some commentary, and we'll be back in a moment. Hey, we're back at the George Brendler Field. Today's date is November 4th, 2011. We have a Class B Section 7 Boys Championship on the line. The score is 0-0, Beekmantown and PHS, and it was a pretty intense first half. Sean, kind of went both ways. Beekmantown put some early pressure on PHS. PHS is they withstood it. PHS went back down. They looked like they were getting more comfortable.
Yeah, toward the end of that first half there, they were settled in. They're starting to bring the ball down to the side and cross it in a little more, and they had some real opportunities to head that ball in, and they had that corner kick go off the post. It's they're getting a little closer. You're right, Joe. And they're down there now. They came right out. Nice play down the right side, and lost it a little bit, but now they're deep in the end with their own throw in and putting a little more pressure on again.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, my name is Joe Poissant on the microphone, and Calvin Casson on the camera, and Sean Rogers on some commentary and some colorful insights, hopefully. And the PHS lets go with a shot, but like we mentioned, PHS started to get in their comfort zone.
That's the first one I've seen Votra let rip here. And,
that is the first one in his game.
He's gonna step up and
he's been one of the studs over the last several years for the Hornets, and it is his senior year. Probably one of the best players to ever play for PHS, and arguably one of the better players to come out of this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's been a stalwart for Coach LaRose's PHS Hornets, and he's always been one of the go-to guys, like you mentioned. But here comes Zach Tal for Beekmantown. He's a very good player in number 6. Is that 8 or 6? That's 6. Brockway.
Yep, it is Brockway.
He's actually played pretty well this evening.
He's stepped up and taken a lot of balls here.
Yes, he has.
Working it in the corner. Brockway comes out.
Oh, a nice service.
Nice cross.
Oh, wow. Not defended very well.
And they won the corner there.
Yes, they did. And
Beekmantown counters and comes back.
PHS was a little fortunate. They did not defend well on that service, and we have 38 minutes, and now Beekmantown comes back getting a corner kick, and the wind is the flag on that far side where that ball is. The wind is just a little flicks every now and then. You can see the flag, so kind of a...
It's going to assist on this one. This is Mr. Carnwright going to take this one, Joe.
Here we go. Beekmantown with a decent chance here early in this second half with the tied score 0-0.
Nice service in the box. They got that one away.
Oh, they did.
Keeper.
Rowenbeck off his line. Oh, and 11.
Hips around there.
That is true.
Mr. Burrow.
He's just trying to get one going. It goes off the end line. It's going to be a PHS goal kick. 37-20 left in the second half. Championship action. Hometown cable programming at its finest.
That's because Joey's not here.
That's my job to slam Joey Tremblay. He's actually played pretty well here too for the Hornets as Morrow. And taking down his Ferris and throw in for PHS deep in the zone on the near side. Or actually, it's going to be a corner kick. We got 36-42 left here. And PHS getting a corner kick. Both teams exchanging corner kicks early going in the second half. And he gets a nice one away. And Olsen trying to come off his line to side and defended very well. And Towel just lets it fly. There could be a foul. Yeah, there was. Okay, and Mr. Kovlowski right on top of that one. Does call a foul. Some seasoned officials this evening, Mr. Kovlowski, Mr. Labarge, and should I say Mr. Lacey? Okay, I will. You're doing a great job, actually. Tommy's nice to see some seasoned professionals here this evening in this big game. A good service there by Nolting, and out of bounds, and PHS is going to take a quick one. Get that in. It's Ferris up to and Morrill trying to get something going, and Carpenter getting chased and kicked out by Perkins and kicked back in, and Jahan Bush does a great job just getting that ball out of bounds. And number 20 for PHS, Durgan, going wide. That's what they're going to have to do.
That was Dylan Riley trying to save that and wasn't quite able to get there.
Riley has good speed too.
He does.
What year is Riley in? Do you know what Riley is? He is a senior this year.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I remember him playing indoor too and having good speed.
He and Keon and Zach, they've been around forever.
Seems like it, huh? They like to pull off an upset here. I guess you'd call it an upset, but, you know, they had, like we mentioned, they have played PHS tough 2 times this year, 1-goal games. One of the games went into overtime. So it's upset, yes, and maybe no. I mean, Beekmantown wouldn't look at it like that. They say, you know, we've been in both games. And
yeah, with a 1-goal game, exactly.
We've been in both of them.
And, they earned the right to be here tonight.
Yes, they have. I don't think Beekmantown is ranked in the state in Class B, but maybe
I was looking at it today. They're not.
They're not, but they maybe should be when the next poll comes up.
NCCS was ranked pretty deep there, like
not anymore.
18th or 19th.
Yeah,
they bowed out here.
They just dropped off the radar after that loss. I would think anyway. And Carpenter, slick move to Carpenter. Good job by Perkins getting back.
Made it very hard.
Carpenter still fighting for the ball. Carpenter trying to break in. No, there's going to be no call on that. There's no call on that. Nope.
That wasn't a trip.
Oh, he just got leveled by. That's going to be a card right there. Jahan Bush had no business doing that. That was just idiotic. I mean, there was no reason to level Carpenter, and that could be a straight red, man. You know, that could be a straight red. There is no reason for him to do that. I mean, the play was done, and Olsen was getting ready to do it, and Jahan Bush is going to have to come at you. It is going to be a yellow, but that was just totally nonsense to do that, and he knows it, you know. And what's going to happen here with the ball? Are they going to give that to PHS? Should PHS get the ball?
That's what Coach LaRose is asking.
That's what Coach LaRose is asking. And
sort this out.
That was a foul. Olsen did have possession of the ball, but a rather egregious play by Jahan Bush against Carpenter to see how they're going to sort this out. Okay, we're back to action. They did sort that out, and it looks like PHS is...
It's a dead ball foul, so PHS does get that ball. It'll be an indirect kick at the point of the foul, and Kovalaski is saying it's just outside of the boxes where he's going to put that ball. Okay, so PHS with a great chance here. We had the clock is stopped with 34-12 and 0-0 to score. And Beekmantown had, thwarted a great chance for PHS, but they're going to give it right back to them on a kind of a crazy foul. So I'm going to see if PHS can capitalize here right in just outside that box. I mean, what are they going to do? Do you think there's going to be a design play? Do you think PHS has that up their sleeve? Absolutely. You can see they got their 3 players around the ball right there already.
I'd let them stay there. I would not ask. Yeah, but I see if you got a design play, you want to suck them up. You don't ask for the 10.
But it's a dead ball foul. They got to wait for that whistle anyway.
Yeah.
They don't have any choice.
But you should have to ask for the 10. And they're going to see what they're going to do. It is an indirect kick, it looks like. Right outside the box.
It's going to be a little touch in the boot here.
Yep.
By the looks of things.
And here we go. Oh, and very well defended by Beekmantown. Beekmantown dodged a bullet there.
Very fortunate to see that one.
And it goes off the Perkins, and is going to be a throw-in for Nolting for PHS deep inside the zone of Beekmantown and headed off
That'll be a goal kick.
Carpenter's head and off the end line. And Jahan Bush, who just received some yellow coloring and a kind of a dumb foul, really, against Carpenter, and his team could have paid for that. And
dodged a big bullet there.
yeah, and that was just, I don't know. I don't know what was going through his head, but he better hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, they certainly can't afford to be down a man.
No.
That could have went that way.
It's possible, but official Kovalowski, he says it's just going to be a yellow card, but he gets away a goal kick by Jahan Bush on the far side to Brockway. And a foul against PHS, and they're going to call it back in 33 minutes and about 2 seconds left here in the second half. Still 0-0. No score, Sean. PHS looks comfortable, though.
They do. They're settling in even more. And
here's a good chance for Beekmantown.
Oh, they got it.
Here's what they got. Oh, my! Beekmantown goes up 1-0, 32:47 left in the second half on a mistake on the defense of PHS. Oh, what are they going to do?
That's a goal.
Are they calling that a goal? They are going to call it.
He's calling for offsides, but it wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We're going to see who got that goal, Sean. Did you see?
I think that was number
11, Burrell? Was it Burrell? Did Burrell get that?
I'm not sure if it was him or McElroy.
I'm going to find out.
12.
11-9. So Burrell to Carnwright. Carnwright with a big goal off a mistake on the defense. PHS have been looking good, but they are down 1-0 at this point.
That counter, and we'll probably see just what we did the other night, Joe. As you know, Beekmantown can pack that.
PHS sending everybody up now, though.
They're going to play.
They are going to, but Beekmantown, they're going to have to withstand a whole bunch of chances.
They won a corner right there.
Will they call old Yogi Berra say deja vu all over again? It just might happen.
There we go.
Beekmantown on a goal from Carnwright and assisted from Burrell, and I would say on assist by a mistake from the PHS defense. And Coach LaRose taking off the warm-up jacket. He's getting hot and steamed, and I don't blame him after playing well. And yep, he wasted it.
Plattsburgh's getting a little tight again here. They got to settle down. They got lots of time.
Yes, they do have a lot of time.
Use this skill and come back.
We have 32 minutes left in the second half, and Calvin says it's too cold for overtime, but I'd like to see a little overtime. Why not? It's Friday night. Shazy, little soccer.
Oh, they were able to keep that in.
Yes, they were. Both teams fighting for possession, and it goes off on that far side. It looks like Guanga, and it's Beekmantown throwing. Beekmantown's going to waste every second that they can possibly waste now and try to pull off a double whammy here in Section 7 Class B playoffs. They're up 1-0 on a fortuitous goal.
Harris working hard over there, but
yes, he is. Good defense. Keeble again. Keeble's played well for Beekmantown on the outside. Carpenter trying to deliver it on the side. And Tal trying to do something with it. And Ferris back with the ball. Ferris has a couple defenders on him and sent in by Guanga. Oh my! Olsen off his line trying to get the ball, and he does get it. Wow! And Carpenter was in the middle of that pack. That was a good service right there from Morrow.
Here comes the pressure, Joe.
Excuse me, that wasn't Morrow. That would be.
That was Ferris, wasn't it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, played that ball in from that far
These
corner.
kids would not get those haircuts. I would be able to pick them apart even on the far side after a while. But both teams trading punches, and Beekmantown lands the first blow, but we'll see if it's a knockout punch. Oh, a slick old move by Durgam. Slick move by Durgam. Good play by numbers Carnwright or Brockway. Brockway hustling all over that field. Brockway, we're going to have something being called, and it will be Brockway getting called for it.
Good hard play there.
Coach Lucy has to be ecstatic with his team up 1-0 right now, but not happy because they have not won the game, and there is 30 minutes and 8 seconds left. They are Beekmantown up 1-0, surprisingly. Could they pull off another one, Sean? And I'm going to tell everybody Sean called this one. Sean said, you know what, Beekmantown won, and hey, it could be. But you hear, because of this man, it's a possibility PHS is going to get back in the game. And here's Ferris, another guy that can do it. And shot by Carpenter, kicked out, and headed back in by Fouts, and it goes off the end line. PHS is bringing a whole bunch of pressure on them now. Once again, they realize there's a little bit of desperation in them.
If they're wisely not bringing them all, Joe, they're still keeping 3 back.
They got to keep him back.
Looking for, they won't be able to get that quick breakaway on them.
Ready to check in for Beekmantown number 18, Danusi, and number 20, Munson.
Coach Lucy continues to go to his bench. He gets fresh legs in there a lot, and I think that's made a big difference for him tonight.
Does in the defense, which is surprising, That's a good head right there by
that's where he needs them, because that's where all the action's been.
Morrow. Yes, you're right. And Cope trying to settle it down and intercepted by Fouts for PHS. Fouts goes wide over to Phillips for PHS. Phillips on the zone of Beekmantown serves one in, trying to find Ferris, and kicked out by Jahan Bush and headed back in by Fouts and kicked back out by Keeble. Kicked back in by Phillips, and both teams just kicking the ball. Nobody really possessing. And Carpenter, yeah, that is a good call right there by Mr. Kowalowski. And Beekmantown's going to get a long restart in their own zone, and Jahan Bush comes up and gives a short pass over here to McCullum Cope. McCullum Cope with the ball, goes back to the middle to Tal. Tal being challenged by a couple of players. He goes wide and far with the ball. Riley settles it down.
Look out, Mr. Phillips.
He's a big boy. Yes, and he's being challenged. Riley kicks it back to Tal. He's moved Tal back, I see, to the midfield position. Now he doesn't have him up front. So it's going to play a little bit more defense. Tal, one of the better players in the area, and Cope for Beekmantown on the near side just takes his time and delivers a ball to trying to find number 6 Brockway, and well defended by PHS. Fouts up to Ferris now, and Votra up to Ferris, trying to find Carpenter, and Cope just delivers a good ball up to number 11 Burrell. Burrell trying to get by. Good job by Flosky, and good job by Durgan getting back. Yes, and number 12 is McElroy. McElroy gives it back to number 9 Carnwright. Carnwright trying to do something into the zone of PHS, and kicked out by Bracy. Oh no, they're not. And Carnwright sending it to the middle. Ooh, good move right there by Brockway. Brockway was well defended by Fouts. Fouts has space and time. Fouts being defended very well by a couple of defenders, but he gets a pass off to Ferris. Ferris with a slick, clever little move. Good, strong challenge by Perkins to get the ball back to Jahan Bush. He sends it downfield, but Phillips gets it back for PHS. PHS reloading for another chance. Phillips trying to send one in. PHS have numbers. Here comes Carpenter, and we have the big man Votra. Votra getting a good shot away, and Olsen right there to get that one. PHS looking good here, some going, trying to get the ball back. You got to give Beekmantown credit. They defending very well. Good swarming team defense. And Fouts using that height advantage, getting ahead up to Toloski, or Morrow, I should say. Morrow over to Ferris. Ferris up to Votra. Being challenged, very strong, but number 9 Carnwright trying to get back, but Ferris getting up to Carpenter. Good job by Jahan Bush, because he was the last one there. And Beekmantown just kicks the ball out of bounds. And it's going to be a throw-in for Knowlton PHS. Knowlton goes back to Bracy. Bracy settles the ball down. He has all kinds of space-time. Beekmantown getting everybody back, playing some strong defense and trying to getting up to Votra. Ooh. Yes, he did. Oh, wow. All kinds of defense. There is no foul, and that is a good non-call right there. We have a Beekmantown lead 1-0. Class B Section 7 Boys Championship to George Brendler Field, November 4th, 2011. My name is Joe Poissant, Calvin Casson in the camera, and Sean Rogers doing some commentary. We have 24:42 left here in the second half. PHS threatening a little bit, Sean.
Yeah, we knew they'd bring numbers once they got scored on, and they're bringing some pretty good pressure here, but Beekmantown's been able to withstand it so far.
They just had a good play with Keeble saving the day there, and Jahan Bush has been playing well at times. So, like I said, Beekmantown's doing what they have to do right now. So, PHS getting a little bit of desperation, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit. They got to settle down.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Keep themselves in the game here. Don't waste it.
Yep. And 7 Cope moved up to the midfield now from that defensive position.
Here comes Carpenter on the ball.
Carpenter with some decent speed. It goes out of bounds, and Carpenter with a quick... No.
They're going to move that one back.
Yes, they do. Mr. Kowalowski says push that ball back, and That's probably not a bad idea because I looked up and PHS did not have numbers, and he would have had to throw that right into pressure, and Beekmantown had about 4 or 5 defenders there. And this is probably not a bad place right here for Ferris to receive that ball. And Ferris coming over to the middle to Durgam. Durgam has some space. Durgam can let go for me. And good defense. And yes, it is. And he just number 19 Morrow lets that one fly, and Coach LaRose said, settle down. He could have maybe taken a touch and delivered one some more emphasis, but some good defense by Perkins in the middle. I noticed he hasn't been out of the ball game.
Mr. Perkins?
Yeah,
he's been good solid stopper, sweeper.
That's one of the defenders he has not taken out. 18 Danusi's been in and out of the game a few times. Like you said, Coach Lucy does not mind going to the bench.
Not at all. I think he likes.
Well, he has, and there really is not a lot of fall off. Good defense right there again by Keeble on that far side. Keeble still with the ball. Yes, he does. And PHS trying to get it back. Oh, both teams playing very hard, and Ferris ends up with the ball for the Hornets, getting it up to Fouts. Fouts trying to find Carpenter on that far side. Jahan Bush, oh wow, that will be maybe a card too. Let's see if they're going to call it. No, those two are not trading Christmas cards this night, Jahan Bush and Carpenter. Jahan Bush got called with a yellow card earlier with a hard foul on Carpenter, and Jahan Bush just goes wide over to Keeble in a short pass. Keeble tried to deliver one, and good job by that Ferris getting chase over there. It is Carpenter again. Yes. And in the middle we have Mr. Fouts coming in to the near side over to Phillips. Phillips over here to number 19, Morrow. Morrow being challenged by a couple of defenders, Munson being one. And number 18 comes up with it. Danusi for Beekmantown goes down the line. That is a good ball. And it will go out of bounds, though, and it's going to be a PHS throw with 22:42 left. Beekmantown up 1-0 in this championship game at the George Brendler Field in Shazy. It's been a pretty good game. It really has.
This has been back and forth.
It has.
I think this is a better game than the one we had the other night there, even.
I think, yeah, oh yes. Beekmantown...
shots on the board are 4-4, Jim.
4-4, huh?
I think there's probably
nice.
more in favor of PHS here, but all in all, it's been pretty even.
Oh, here's a good chance now. Oh, good job by, I'm trying to catch that kid's number 19. Towel. There you go. Good job for Goldfarb, yes. Well, Goldfarb loses possession. And Ferris goes up to Votra. Votra can deliver a shot from there. Votra does.
Not on net, though.
No. And it's going to go out of bounds. And a couple of subs coming in for Beekmantown. Number 9 is going in Carnwright, who's the goal scorer, number 12. McElroy. Here they go. Coming off the field, number 6, Brockway. And number 2, Riley. Like I said, 21-26 left in the second half, and I see Jahan Bush did not take that kick right there. Normally he's been taking them in those Keeble, so he might have switched off. Fouts being challenged by all kinds of red, and just kicked it, but luckily to retain possession, and Munson just trying to send it downfield.
Goldfarb looks like he has a little speed on this guy, maybe.
That's Knowlton getting it back to Bracey. Bracey being challenged by Goldfarb.
Goldfarb keeps him right there. That's the best thing he can do. That's okay.
It's not a bad play, and going to be a throw-in for PHS deep inside their zone on the near side. Get a quick one in, but the whistle by Mr. Kovlowski, the official, and he says call it back.
Back it up, and he tried to run a little too far.
Yes, he did. We have 20 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the second half. Beekmantown up 1-0 and a fortuitous goal by Carnwright.
You can see, if you look up front here, Beekmantown has got two guys with Mr. Carpenter all the time.
Oh, that's not a bad choice, because if he gets loose, he's gotten loose a couple times. He's always a threat.
Yep.
But Votra's got to let one loose, though. He's got to get on top of that box and deliver one on target.
I agree with you. It's going to be one of those two center guys. Votra or Fouts got to get one.
Yes, they do, and either of them can. But Beekmantown's playing good defense, and that's what they do. Jahan Bush getting it up the field.
And
to Carnwright.
Just got to do a little more talking.
Carnwright going wide.
Twice now, Goldfarb's come from that front striker position and taking the ball away from them off their back. From that striker position. And, I don't hear anybody yelling on your back. They gotta start talking a little more, letting them know he's there.
You're right.
Because he's picked them twice now.
Good job right here by Nolting. And Munson coming back to challenge him. Nolting keeps the ball in, and both of them still going for the ball. Munson comes up with that.
Nice job. Good hustle.
But Durgam gets it up for PHS, and it's kicked back in their zone, and Goldfarb being challenged by Nolting. Goldfarb taken down. There is no call. And a sub going in. We have Riley going in for Munson and for Beekmantown. And Riley's grabbing the ball, going to take the throw in on the near side, just about at the halfway mark, and he's going to give it up to number 18, Danusi, for Beekmantown. He's going to take the throw in on the near side. Danusi trying to go in the middle, trying to find number 9, Carnwright, and he loses the ball to Fouts. Oh, great job by Carnwright.
Nice job to take that.
Carnwright doesn't only score goals, he plays some good defense too, and Riley going back to Danusi, and he loses possession, and it will be still a Beekmantown throw. And Danusi coming up for Beekmantown, and we have number 6 going back in for Beekmantown, Brockway, and checking in momentarily for PHS is going to be number 10, Toloski. And he loses the throw, and 20 for PHS kicks the ball up Durgam to Ferris. Ferris loses the ball, but he gets it up to Carpenter. Carpenter being challenged by Danusi. Danusi with the ball and loses to Carpenter. Carpenter gets it back, and Danusi kicks it out of the bounds. It's going to be a corner kick with 18 left here in the second half. PHS with a corner kick here, and let's see what they can do with it. You know, even though Beekmantown is up 1-0, Sean, I still think PHS had the best so far of the second half.
For the most part, I would agree with that, Joe. I think very early on they came out. Plattsburgh came out with a lot of pressure.
Oh, wasted.
It swung a little bit there for Beekmantown, but not real long. And, you know, of late, of course.
Here we go with Durgam on top of the box. Durgam getting a shot away. Oh, Carpenter trying to one-time it. Carpenter with a great chance. And he kind of miskicked it. That's right. And Phillips here giving possession back to PHS, going back to Bracey. And Bracey, but Nolting should have gone away from Bracey, dude. He didn't need to have all this drama going on right here with this ball. But Beekmantown does, or PHS does get possession due to the diligence of Fouts, going over to Phillips. Phillips kind of dilly-dallying with that ball, and he loses possession to Carnwright. Carnwright going over to number 11, Burrow.
He kind of lost possession there.
But numbers getting back for PHS right now, and ball just kind of harmlessly goes into the arms of Rowan Beck, whose name we have not called a whole lot. Rowan Beck in his second half, and he gets off a doozy of a goal kick. And we got 17 minutes left here in the second half. And served up to Carpenter and kicked out of bounds by Perkins for Beekmantown, and number 19 going down there is Morrow. Morrow throwing it in. Fouts retaining possession, doing a good job. Shielded, being challenged by Riley. And Carpenter comes up with the ball. Carpenter being challenged by a couple of good service for Riley. Oh my God, Carpenter had a beautiful service. Great chance again for PHS on that far post. Nobody could get ahead on it. PHS Ferris trying to get one away on the far side. Ferris can get it. It goes too low, and PHS will get another corner kick. PHS getting a lot of pressure. He had some great chances, but Beekmantown pulling that rope-a-dope again, Sean. Just like the deja vu again. Just what they did against Northeastern a couple of nights ago. Do you think they can withstand this?
There's a lot of pressure here, and one big problem they have is Mr. Votrot with that head.
And Fouts. Fouts has some height also.
Votrot scored a lot of goals with his head this year, and he actually beat Beekmantown in overtime with his head this year.
Oh, there's a good service. And
didn't get it high enough, though.
No, out of bounds again.
Another corner.
Good hustle by Keeble, but it will be another corner kick for PHS. 15:50 left in the second half. PHS trying to get the equalizer, down 1-0 on a goal by Carnwright. Beekmantown, kind of like off a mad scramble here that they had, and he got it loose and he buried one in the back of the net.
Voltrot's working to get free here.
Yes, he is, and he's being
in the middle and
wasted. Good defending right there by Beekmantown once again. Just good defending, just to clear that ball out. He doesn't really care what happens right now. And 17 Phillips getting back in the action. And more on the far side. Excuse me, not more. It'll be Ferris. Phillips serving one back in. And we have Gwanga, number 14, ready to check back in for the Hornets. Good job by Bracey trying to get it loose, but Morrow ends up with it for the Hornets, being challenged by Riley. Riley doing a good job, but Morrow and Riley still actually struggling for it. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a Beekmantown throw-in. Good job by Riley. Can't let him in. Nope, they're not going to let him in. It is right. Danucci with a throw-in for Beekmantown. Danucci get up to Riley. Good challenge by Morrow, but it goes off him, and there's going to be another Beekmantown throw-in on the near side about the halfway mark. And Zach Towell wasting a few seconds. He's going to count every blade of grass coming over here. Take some time. I could tell. And he wasting time. 14:22 left. Beekmantown up 1-0. Towell, he delivers a nice throw-in. Trying to find anybody, and Carnwright trying to go wide, and good job defending. Good job defending by Beekmantown just to disrupt that. And Fouts ends up with the ball, or Durgam, I should say, for PHS. Good job by Carnwright. Carnwright going corner, and nobody there, and going back is Nolting. Nolting being challenged by Goldfarb, and the ball will go out of bounds.
No, Joe, Beekmantown seem to go everything forward right now.
Yes, checking in right now for PHS is 14 Goanga and number 20 Munson for Beekmantown coming off. Number 16 Ferris giving a well-deserved rest. He's had a decent game for PHS.
Mr. McElroy came off for Beekmantown.
Okay, thank you. I like that when you're up here. See, Calvin doesn't help me like that. Calvin doesn't help me at all. He just moves the camera.
I help keep the camera off your face.
Keep the video on and the sound on. All right, back to the action here. Some fast and furious action. This has been a very good game. Well-played game by both these teams. And Towell with a good throw-in and headed into the middle by Fouts and picked up by Bracey. Bracey going wide, or actually going up the middle. Oh, good job by number 6 for Beekmantown is Brockway. Brockway's been playing very well.
He has, and Munson out there on the outside just hustle to keep that ball in.
Yes, they do.
The more they can do that,
here goes another chance.
The better.
Rolling back.
Trying to get there.
Rolling back coming out and getting that one in. 12 minutes and 45 seconds left, Sean. PHS has to pull out all the stops.
Nice flick,
that was a great flick by Toloski. Carpenter showing some speed. No, I don't think he's worried about a card. He's just worried about stopping Carpenter.
He did a good job.
Yes, he did a great job slowing down Carpenter, just slowing the game down. Good job. And Carpenter with the throw in. Votra back to and Morrow here with the ball. Oh, good defense. Actually, he lost possession, but PHS has numbers up, and Beekmantown has everybody back and sending the ball in. Bracey, nobody could really get possession.
Riley winning that ball.
Good hustle by Riley. Everything forward, and Nolting for the Hornets with the ball.
Time settles it.
Gonna find feet though, because that's kind of the no man's land, but they were lucky to get that.
Toloski with the ball.
Yes, he got good speed here. Toloski, the sophomore, being challenged by Riley. He gives it up to Morrow. Morrow trying to get a service in, and how is that going to end up? That's going to be a goal kick for Beekmantown. And number 7, Cullum Cope going in for the Eagles. And number 16, Ferris is going to have to wait. Number 11, Burrell coming off. Burrell playing a great game for the Eagles of Beekmantown. 11:30 left here in the second half. Beekmantown up 1-0. Section 7, Class B. Championship at the George Brendler Field. This is hometown cable. It doesn't get a whole lot more exciting than hometown cable than this, Sean.
Ooh, this has been a doozy for the North Country.
It really has. It's been a great game. They're the number 3 seed Beekmantown pulling off an upset a couple nights ago against number 2 Northeastern, and trying desperately to do it against number 1 ranked in the section and number 5 ranked in the state PHS. This will be great for the Eagles.
What's
if they can do this.
Right now, Joe, is when Beekmantown gets the ball, they're playing the possession game.
They are doing it right now. They're
before when they were tied up and not doing so well, they were playing the big ball.
Exactly right.
They're doing a great job possessing that ball and wasting time right now.
Exactly right. Possess. And substitutions going in. Ferris, number 16 for PHS, and number 12 going in McElroy for the Beekmantown Eagles. 10 minutes and 27 seconds left. And Toloski coming off the field for the Hornets, and number 20 Munson coming off the field for Beekmantown. And a kick for Rowan Beck. Nobody really getting possession. Kick back in, and Nolting heading it up in the middle, trying to find Ferris or Votra, but it does go to the foot of...
Morrow gets it?
Yep, Morrow going over here to Votra on the near side, deep in the zone, being challenged by Danucci. Votra with a good service, but well defended by Beekmantown once again. And Morrow again fighting for the ball against Cope. Morrow gets that one over to Votra, back to Morrow. Defended by Danucci, but Morrow still has the ball, gets a good service, low service, and towel for Beekmantown getting the ball. And very, very smart here just to keep the ball. Don't kick it downfield. That's right. Smart ball just to do it. Oh, here goes Cope. Cope is just going to take that ball and do the same thing. He's a smart player too. And he's being challenged by Phillips. Cope and Phillips going at it. Cope still with the ball, or Nolte, excuse me. Cope gets away a service, but it does go wide, and he will. There was no call there. We're under the 10-minute mark. We have 9 minutes and 15 seconds left. And Ferris heading it up to Votra for PHS. Votra sending it back to Bracey. Bracey has the ball, carries, he has space. Going to have to put some pressure on. All right, Bracey just sends it up and defended well by Keeble, and Ferris sends it in, but Jahan Bush just kicks the ball wide and out of bounds on the near side, and it's going to be a throw-in for PHS, and Nolting with the ball. Trying to find Ferris. Ferris being dragged, but no call. Ferris had defended by a couple of guys. Ferris gets by them both. Ferris gets tries to get a service in, but Perkins blocks it, and Riley for Beekmantown kicks it out of bounds on the near side. Good defending by Beekmantown.
Most of the time I don't like to see him kicking that ball out, but Riley was really smart to do that.
Nolting coming up and calling for that throw-in. We have 8 minutes and 22 seconds left, Sean. Upset in the making.
That clock just can't go fast enough.
No, it can't. And Nolting with a good throw-in and defended well once again by Beekmantown.
3 touches already.
That's right, and kicked out by Carnwright. And Phillips sending it back in for the Hornets, and headed back out by Beekmantown's Keeble, and goes up to Cullum Cope for the Eagles. He settles it down a little bit, trying to find somebody. And good play right there in the middle of the field by, that would be Votra, but it goes to the foot of Nolting. Nolting trying to find anybody, and headed back out by Perkins for Beekmantown, and here goes Brockway doing very well this evening, but it goes to the foot of Phillips. Phillips they're trying to send everybody just over the top now, but they are. Yes, they are, and well, they could. Here goes Votra with a decent shot, but from distance, and it just lost some velocity. Olsen was right there to make the save, and he's going to take his time and just take as much as legally available to him. I'm sure. Look at that. He does a little stretch mark and and just kicks the ball. And Riley trying to control it, but Morrow heads it, and Riley gets possession for Beekmantown. Riley being challenged by Ferris, and he loses possession to Riley keeps possession, I should say. Ball goes down the middle of the field, and Zach Tell for Beekmantown just kicks the ball wide, taking pressure off. 7 minutes left. Beekmantown up 1-0, surprisingly. And Beekmantown just going to play a whole bunch of defense. They have everybody back. Nobody's up.
See Mr. Perkins just worked that one
Yep.
up. Boy, he's playing.
Yes, he is. Perkins playing very well for the Eagles, and if they can pull this off, this will be an upset. And nice throw from Nolting in the middle of the box and sent back in. And what's going to happen here? And Votra trying to get a shot, and it goes back. And here we go with Bracey here trying to send one back in. Bracey's just going to go wide over to Phillips on the far side. Phillips being challenged by Cope. Phillips does get the send-off in, and it's good defense again by Perkins. We've called his name a lot here. And headed back by Durgan to Nolting, and that's not a bad play right there by number 6, Brockway. Well, Bracey gets it up to Durgan. Durgan does have space. Durgan trying to go wide to foul, so it's intercepted by the defense, and Zach Towell once again delivers a ball out of bounds, and a quick throw-in for Morrow. Morrow going down the line, trying to find Ferris. Too much weight on that throw-in, and we have just a little under, and Beekmantown is going to pull a sub here. Number 11, Burrow going in for number 7, McCullum Cope, giving Coach Lucy some great minutes this evening. Beekmantown up 1-0 in an exciting championship game, Class B boys, Section 7. And Keeble with that one. And both teams just fighting for possession. Ferris did come up with it, comes over to Morrow. Morrow being challenged by Riley for Beekmantown, and Morrow gets it up to Carpenter. Carpenter getting a service in, and missed kick by Perkins, and Jahan Bush saves the day that time. And it goes back to PHS's Bracey. Bracey out here with a lot of space, and gets it over here to the near side to Nolting. Nolting with some time. He's just sending the ball in the middle. And Fouts comes up with the ball. Fouts going wide, trying to get it to, I don't know, it looks like Gwanga. Gwanga to the middle ball to Ferris. can't get anything off that. Beekmantown's defending very well. Of course, they have everybody back to do it, and could have taken a touch there maybe, but both teams really can't get possession. And Gwanga tries to get it over to Ferris, and Ferris doing a good hustling job, a really good job by number 6 Brockway, and Phillips delivers it back in. Beekmantown is not breaking at all. You know, they playing very good defense, and number 6 gets it away again, Brockway. And coming off his line is Rowanbeck getting the ball back into the zone, and Riley getting it head on the ball up to Carnwright, the goal scorer for Beekmantown. Carnwright just sends it forward, and number 13 Nolting being challenged by 11 Burl. There you go, and Nolting just sending the ball in.
Carnwright again, Joe.
Yep, playing very well here this evening. And here's Carpenter, had space. Carpenter being challenged by Carnwright again. Carnwright bumps him off the ball, playing good defense. Great defense playing by Carnwright. And Durgan gets the ball wide over to Phillips on the far side for PHS. Phillips with some space, gets it back over to Durgan. Durgan does have some space. What's Durgan going to do? Sends a long one in, trying to find somebody, and headed down by the defense. Oh, good hard play and no call. That's right. That is a play on ball. That's right. There is no foul on that. Both teams playing hard. And we have a throw in here. We got 3 minutes and 33 seconds left, second half. And Nolting getting the ball into Morrow. Morrow sending it one deep, and Olsen is comes down with that. He is going to take his time. Everything legal here to whatever to do to just get the ball forward, and a nice kick by Olsen.
That's the best one he's had.
Yes, it is. And Nolting gets a foot on it, but is going to be what? Out of bounds, and Riley probably should take his time a little bit. And he is going to take his time. I'm going to give Zach Tal the chance to get this ball up in the zone. So Goldfarb going to go out there, and 2 minutes and 55 seconds left. Beekmantown up 1-0. Some great, good job right there by Morrow, stepping up to get that ball. That's what they're going to have to do. And Tal just sends it forward, and Beekmantown almost had that. Yes, he is working hard. Morrow back with the ball on the near side. Morrow sends one forward, and it's going to go out of bounds. And just that was Beekmantown. I would see, just take your time. Smart play.
Coach LaRose calling for everybody.
That's right. Danucci. Oh, you got to call for everybody up. There's no choice. It doesn't matter. He's exactly right. And Zach Tal with a long throw in for Beekmantown. And Nolting just sends it back up. Everybody's going to come out now. They have nothing left to lose. And Riley kicks it down. And Bracey goes chest the ball. And Bracey trying to get the ball up, working it up to Fouts. Fouts over the near side over to Morrow. Morrow has some space a little bit, getting up to Ferris. Ferris has some space, being challenged by Danucci. Danucci does a great job on Ferris, but Ferris does get the ball away. And we have Durgan getting challenged by two guys, and two guys down the box at Beekmantown. The ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be another throw-in for PHS. 1 minute and 40-something seconds left. Nolting with the ball, getting a service in the front. And Fouts here can deliver one from side. He goes to the far side to Phillips. He's going to have to shoot. Phillips just doesn't. He just chips it in, trying to find anybody. Beekmantown just trying to get the ball out. And a good service from, looks like Gwang on that far side. But it's going to be a 130 and upset in the making.
Coming on the field.
Yeah. McCullum Pope going on for Beekmantown, and coming off is number 1, Adam Goldfarb. Beekmantown here with 1 minute and 15 seconds away from victory. Can they hang on? We don't know. PHS is going to try everything possible. Beekmantown just puts everything up. But Morrow doing a good job keeping that ball in bounds, and Riley doing a better job getting the ball back in the PHS end. So we have Bracey. We have Bracey being challenged by Cope, and it goes wide over to Phillips. PHS is Phillips. Got to do the last desperation for PHS. What can they do? And defended well by Keeble. Again, send everything forward. That's a smart play by Keeble. And Bracey with the ball for PHS, going wide again over to Phillips. Phillips being challenged, and nice ball by Phillips. Phil's going to get one last run here, Sean. And he is leveled by Votra, and that might do it. They're going to waste about 10 seconds here, Sean, just doing this. And then they're going to just send it deep, everything they have. Jahan, he didn't really do it that deep like I thought. An upset in the making, Sean. 20 seconds left. And what can they do? And it looks like Beekmantown is going to pull out a 1-0 upset victory. Yes, an upset victory.
Sub is coming in. It's done.
It doesn't matter. The game is winding down. Beekmantown with an upset. 2 upsets in a row for the Beekmantown Eagles, knocking out the number 2 seed Northeastern Clinton Cougars, and then knocking off the number 1 seed PHS Hornets here 2 games in a row. Both state-ranked teams. And this has got to make Beekmantown ranked now, Sean, winning the Section 7 championship. I don't know when the last time Beekmantown won a Section 7 championship.
This might bring them up, probably 15 or so, I would say.
You think even that low?
Yeah, I do. I think
they just knocked off number 5 PHS, though.
Yep,
I mean, that's.
But it's one win. It's one win.
But 2 good wins, knocking out two state teams in a row.
I'm thinking 15th. We'll see where they come in.
Yep.
That's going to be my prediction.
You got to congratulate Coach Lucy and the Beekmantown Eagles
phenomenal job
on a great 1-0 victory over the PHS Hornets. You know how this game ends up is 6 shots PHS, 4 shots Beekmantown Eagles. And the corner kicks are 8-2 in favor of the Hornets. Here we got Beekmantown getting outplayed once again and pulling out another victory.
Yep, they seem to be able to sneak that through, be opportunistic when they have to, and then they have a great defensive stance when they get up. They're able to keep those shots out of the goal. And actually, there was maybe 2 quality shots there once they scored.
That was it. But you got to give the defense for Beekmantown credit. They did a great job. I mean, keeping the ball away from Olsen. Olsen really never had to stretch.
Nope.
You know what I say? Mean stretch. I mean make that great one save.
They were trying to pound him in on him, but it was right on him. And he, this time of year, in a night like this, you can get a bad skip. And he was very wise. He kept his stance low. He kept the ball in front of him. He was able to handle his balls as they came in.
A well-played game by both teams. I mean, both teams skilled, and Coach LaRose, he's got to be kind of heartbroken again. You're coming in here, the favorites again, and getting knocked off last year by Northeastern, and getting knocked off this year by Beekmantown. So, it's just the way it is. They were the number 1 seed, had not been beat all year, and then coming in here losing it. And this is one of their favorite fields to play on too. So, it's a tough loss for the PHS Hornets. But once again, congratulations to the Beekmantown Eagles winning the Class B Boys Section 7 championship. That's 2 Beekmantown championships in a row.
The girls won it this
I do not know. So it's Happy Land in Beekmantown, and tomorrow they're playing for the championship in football, Class B against Peru. And in a moment, we were going to have Rob McCullough, the Section 7 Boys Chairman, delivering the championship plaque to yes. And Beekmantown is very happy.
We've just seen all of Plattsburgh's losses right there.
That is true, isn't it?
That's all their losses this year right there. 1 loss.
Congratulations to the Beekmantown Eagles. Going out here to get the trophy is number 2, Dylan Riley. Number 3, Keon Jahabaj. Yeah, that's right. I messed it up finally. And 5, Keeb. I can do Keeb. So,
boys, raise the trophy there.
Yes, they deserve it. And well-played game, Beekmantown. And Calvin's looking at his watch. He says we have some more time, Calvin. Is that what you're saying? Okay. You know what? And as Calvin always says, that's the way it was in beautiful downtown Shazy.